Right now, somewhere, someone is about to see a person they like walk into the room, and a second before they even speak, something happens low in their stomach. A flutter, a drop, a feeling with no clear location and no obvious cause. You have felt this. Everyone has felt this, and almost nobody knows what it actually is. Here is the strange part. Butterflies have nothing to do with romance, not directly. They are your body's ancient alarm system, borrowed for an entirely different purpose. To understand why, you have to look at what is actually happening inside your gut. Your digestive system contains more than 500 million neurons. That is more than your entire spinal cord. Scientists call this network the enteric nervous system, and for years it was mostly ignored by medicine. Then researchers started calling it something else. The second brain. Your gut and your brain are in constant conversation, communicating through a direct line called the vagus nerve. 90% of the signals along that nerve travel upward, from your gut to your brain, not the other way around. Your stomach is not just receiving orders, it is sending reports. Now here is where attraction enters the picture. When you see someone you are drawn to, your brain interprets the moment as significant. Not dangerous, necessarily, but high stakes. And your brain does not have a separate signal for nervous excitement. It has one system for arousal, whether that arousal comes from fear, excitement, or attraction. That system is the sympathetic nervous system, and when it activates, it triggers a cascade. Blood flow redirects away from digestion and toward your muscles, preparing you in evolutionary terms to either fight or flee. Your gut, suddenly starved of its normal blood supply, sends confused signals up the vagus nerve. Your brain interprets those signals as a physical sensation, a flutter, a drop. Butterflies. You are not imagining it. Your gut has quite literally been repurposed by your nervous system as a warning light, and it does not distinguish between a predator and a person you find attractive. Researcher Robert Sapolsky, who has spent decades studying stress physiology, points out something crucial here. Your body's stress response evolved for one purpose: survival. It was built for the moment a predator appeared at the edge of camp. But that same hardware, unchanged for hundreds of thousands of years, is now firing every time your brain decides something matters enough to demand your full attention. Attraction qualifies. Your brain treats the person you like as urgent information. And urgent information gets the same physiological broadcast as danger. This is why nervousness and attraction feel so similar. Psychologists have actually tested this directly. In a famous study, researchers had men cross either a high, rickety suspension bridge or a low, stable one. On the other side, an attractive woman asked them to fill out a survey and offered her phone number if they had questions. Men who crossed the frightening bridge were significantly more likely to call her afterward than men who crossed the stable one. Their bodies were already activated, already flooded with the same chemicals attraction produces. Their brains simply misattributed the source. This tells you something important about the flutter in your stomach. It is not proof of love. It is not fate. It is not a sign the universe has aligned two people together. It is your 200,000-year-old threat detection system, doing exactly what it was built to do, aimed at a target it was never designed for. Here is the part that makes this even stranger. This response does not fade with familiarity the way you might expect. Long-term couples, years into a relationship, still report the flutter when something shifts. A surprise, a moment of vulnerability, a sudden reminder of how much the other person matters. The system reactivates whenever the stakes feel high again, whenever your brain flags the moment as significant, which means the butterflies were never really about the newness of a person. They were about how much your nervous system believes is on the line. So the next time you feel that drop in your stomach, know exactly what is happening. Your gut is talking. Your vagus nerve is listening. And somewhere underneath, an alarm system built for a much older, much more dangerous world has just decided that this moment, this person, matters enough to sound the alert. It has been doing this since long before there were words for love. It will keep doing it long after this conversation ends. The butterflies were never about romance. They were about survival, borrowed for the one thing that has always mattered just as much as staying alive. Choosing who you let close enough to matter.